The time is 5 o'clock, and here's the one news at 5. First, the top stories. New Akaribo Vermont receives staff of office from Governor Musso. 3 tiers of government share 532.7 billion naira for the month of October. 2,000 homes in Abuja to be forfeited for non-payment of tax. Presidency assures of ending fuel queues at filling stations in few days. Breakthrough in UK-EU talks on Brexit. US warns Palestinians not to cancel talks with its vice president. I am Tobi Joseph, bringing the news in details shortly. Obaba Babatunde Ajayi, the Tonubua II, has been inaugurated as the new Akaribo and the paramount ruler of Ramadan in Ogun State. Governor Bukila Musso presented the staff of office to the 19th Akaribo at a colorful ceremony attended by dignitaries, including Vice President Yemi Osinbajo of the Gateway International Stadium, Shagamu. Other dignitaries at the historic event included the Ooni of Ife, Obadiah Yunusi, the Alake of Igbaland, Oba Remo the Awujale of Ijebuland, represented by the Daburewe of Idowa, Oba Yunusa Adekoya, the Oba of Lagos, Oba Ruwan Akewu, and the Oshi of Ikenegba, Oba Didapo Tejosho. The governor says his administration will require the support of the new monarch to address the security challenges in Okijo and the surrounding communities in the Shagamu axis of the state. Amoso is happy that other contestants from Tonobuwa ruling house displayed the spirit of sportsmanship by not challenging the selection of the new Kaibu in court. Also, the vice president enjoins the people of Remoland to rally around the new Oba so as to take the region to a greater height. In his acceptance speech, Obajayi promised to work with the state government to continue the development of the region and the business potentials of the area. Ogun State government has accused some politicians of being behind a wild rumor on social media that some students died during the ongoing women program. It, however, says that the women program is undertaken with a foreign partner will not be suspended. Instead, the program is to be extended by 2 days. The rumor caused confusion, forcing hundreds of parents and guardians to beseech public primary and secondary schools in the state to prevent their children and wards from being administered with the deworming drugs. Health Commissioner Dr. Babatunde Kwaye, speaking on the issue on the Rock City FM program Daybreak Show, says investigations have shown that some politicians masterminded the rumor, which, according to him, was unfounded. The commissioner, who pleads with politicians not to politicize the lives of children in the state, explained that the women program had been done by the Amos administration in 2011 and 2012 without any death recorded. Ibaye explained that his ministry trained 9,600 teachers on how to administer the women tablets to 1.37 million students before the flagging off of the program, scheduled to last 3 days. Hope rises for the payment of November salaries to civil servants following the sharing of revenue for the Federation account by 3 tiers of government for the month of October. The revenue shared was about 25.3 billion naira lower than what was distributed for the month of September. The sharing of the October 2017 revenue had been disrupted every week following the protest by the 36 state government on disparity in the revenue figure presented by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) to the meeting of the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee. Permanent Secretary in the Finance Ministry, Mahmoud Issa Dutse, told newsmen after another meeting of FAG in Abuja that 532.7 billion naira was shared by the federal, 36 state, and 774 local governments for the month of October. From the statutory revenue, the federal government received 205.7 billion naira, state government 104.3 billion naira, local government 80.4 billion naira, while oil producing states collected additional 40.8 billion naira as a 13% derivation. From the value-added tax revenue of 89.7 billion naira, the federal government got 12.5 billion naira, state government 43.06 billion naira, and 30.14 billion naira by the local government. The Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Nigerian Customs Service also received 11.7 billion naira from statutory revenue and 3.5 billion from VAT revenue at its cost of collecting the revenue. Meanwhile, state governments are to be directly involved in tracking and collecting of revenue for the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) for the Federation account. This follows the discrepancies discovered in the revenue figure presented by the NNPC for sharing of October 2017 revenue rejected by the state government weeks ago. The decision was taken at the meeting of the Federation Account Allocation Committee for the month of October, held on Thursday night to share revenue for the month of October. Chairman of the Finance Commissioners Forum, Mahmoud Yunusa, told the newsman after the meeting that the state had demanded a genuine revenue figure from NNPC. He explained that a consultant will be engaged to work with the NNPC to collect the revenue figure and report back the true figure to the monthly meeting at the FAG. Yunusa, however, says that the state and local governments have decided to collect the available revenue for the month of October to enable them pay salaries to workers on their payroll. President Muhammadu Buhari says corruption is far more difficult to fight in Nigeria than Boko Haram and other forms of insecurity. Buhari, speaking at a town hall meeting in Kano to round off his two-day visit to Kano State, explained that under democratic dispensation, corruption is difficult to fight because of the enormous resources at the disposal of corrupt persons facing trial. Earlier on Wednesday, Buhari at a state banquet organized by the state government says he is overwhelmed with the large number of people who welcomed him to the state. The massive reception, according to the president, should serve as a strong warning to the opposition politicians that his popularity in the north still remains unshaken. With the vote recorded in Kano State during presidential polls in 2003, 2007, 2011, and 2015, Buhari says nobody would dare to make polls in the state. Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) has finalized plans to forfeit 2,000 private properties to the federal government under the Voluntary Asset and Income Declaration Scheme (VADS). The properties in Abuja belonging to some companies were identified not have been declared for tax payment. The Revenue Agency Chairman, Babatunde Fowler, who announced this at a media workshop on VADS in Abuja, says that court orders will be secured to sell off the 2,000 properties. The affected companies, according to him, will repay the balance for the sale of the properties after deducting the taxes payable on the forfeited properties. In addition, Fowler says owners of the affected properties will be penalized for withholding taxes. You're still listening to the World News at 5 on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you following business and sport news. Please do stay with us. The U.S. has warned Palestinians against canceling talks with Vice President Mike Pence after Washington recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The U.S. says it will be counterproductive to scrap talks between Mr. Pence and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas planned later this month. A senior Palestinian official later said Mr. Pence would not be welcome. Many of Washington's closest allies have said they disagree with the U.S. policy shift, and both the UN Security Council and the Arab League will meet in the coming days to decide their response. On Thursday, at least 31 Palestinians were wounded in clashes in the Gaza Strip and across the occupied West Bank. The Palestinian Islamist group Hamas has already called for a new intifada or uprising. Sufficient progress has been made in Brexit talks, paving the way for talks on the future of the UK-EU relationship. Speaking at an early morning press conference in Brussels, the EU Commission's President Jean-Claude Juncker said the negotiations have been difficult for both the UK and the EU. Theresa May arrived in Brussels on Friday morning, following overnight talks on the issue of the Irish border. She said there would be no hard border and the Good Friday Agreement would be upheld. EU citizens in the UK will be able to go on living as before. With regards to EU citizens' rights, Mrs. May said the agreement would guarantee the right of 3 million EU citizens in the UK and would enshrined in UK law and enforced by British court. Juncker added that the right of UK citizens living in the EU will also remain the same, and administration procedure for those concerned will be cheap and simple. In business, the nationwide scarcity of petrol has been blamed on the shortfall in the supply of imported product. The General Resources Minister of State, Ibe Kajiko, who gave this indication at a news conference in Abuja, says that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) is battling to end queues at filling stations in a couple of days. He assures of irregular supply of petrol during the Utah season. Jacob says the shortage is more acute because the product marketers are not importing product, thereby leaving NNPC as the only importer of petrol. To ease the shortage, the minister explains that 4 vessels with 20 cargos of petrol will arrive at Lagos port in few days, while NNPC has begun massive supply of petrol since Wednesday from its depots. The emergency supply, according to the minister, had reduced the shortage in Lagos, Benue, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, which are the most hit. Following in the news at 5, Sport News. Real Madrid forward Cristiano Ronaldo beats Barcelona's Lionel Messi to win the Ballon d'Or award for the 5th time and the 2nd year in a row. Victory took the 32-year-old Portugal international level with 30-year-old Argentine Messi, who won the most recent of his 5 awards in 2015. Messi's ex-Barcelona teammate Neymar, now at Paris Saint-Germain, was third. Ronaldo added the 2017 Ballon d'Or to those he won in 2008, 2013, 2014, and 2016, and Messi is the only other recipient of the award since 2009. That was the one news at 5, and just before we go, the major stories once again. The new Caribou of Ramadan received staff of office from Governor Yukulamoso. 3 tiers of government share 532.7 billion naira for the month of October. 2,000 homes in Abuja to be forfeited for non-payment of tax. Presidency assures of ending fuel queues at filling stations in few days. Breakthrough in UK-EU talks on Brexit. We also told you that the United States has warned Palestinians not to cancel talks with its vice president. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Tobi Joseph. Good evening.